Happy Pinfall Podcast Day! I can hear myself. Ooh, I don't like that at all. I am your host, Elizabeth. And I am joined, unfortunately, I guess Mark couldn't actually make it today. I'm sorry to everyone that I promised Mark to in the Twitter. But instead he sent his replacement.
You asked me to be on the podcast on Friday.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. Everyone, sorry. I want to just move my mic around a little bit here. I invited Mark Cameron, the almost UPF champion, to join me today. How's it going, bud?
Look, if we could just avoid talking about what happened today. You invited me on to do a wrestling podcast, not a UPF podcast. So can we just get into like the wrestling? I don't want to talk about what happened today.
Mark normally has a problem with this, but I can just jump right into the news if you'd like.
I'd love that.
Damn, I really like you more than Mark.
Fitness trainer 845. I'm gonna call you Mike. Mike said, "I'm coming in angry. I'm hot. HOT hot."
Yeah, Mike, I'm so sorry about Aaliyah, right? What is it that we say? Always next week?
Always next week. She was eliminated during a commercial break. That's rough.
They really said, "Hey, Mike, how about this?" They said you don't even get to watch her, like listen to her get eliminated.
It's one thing if she's just eliminated. It's another thing if it's during a commercial break.
Yeah, no, they disrespected the Robert Stone brand there. I'll be very honest with you. Let me just lower this a little bit. We're getting a little too wonky here. Okay. No. Shit. How do I normally do this? I wasn't in my room for one fucking podcast. And suddenly.
Pull down the leg furthest from you. The leftmost leg. Yeah, that one. It looks like it's crooked a little. Looks like it's leaning towards you a lot.
Jesus. It's like I was without the fucking tripod for 5 goddamn seconds. And now it's like I don't know how to use it. Anyway.
Mike said it wasn't even acknowledged by the announcers.
They said, Aaliyah, who? Aaliyah Mysterio?
They gave her better treatment than Indy Hartwell. Or they gave Indy Hartwell better treatment than Aaliyah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I mean, I didn't really pay that much attention to this first match, but I was going to say, I think Aaliyah probably deserved better treatment than Indy Hartwell. See, I can't be bothered because my dear boy, the apple of my eye, Kyle O'Reilly, won his match, so.
It was an Undisputed Era night. The night was undisputed. Almost went to the moon, yeah.
Was it? Is it this?
I think. Yeah, you got it. Mike said this show sucks.
Mike, no! We didn't eliminate
not this show. Not this show.
Oh.
NXT.
I was like, damn, I'm a little hurt there for a second.
Do you want to jump into the
My
news?
goodness. Well, Interesting how the news only took 24 minutes last time.
I mean, it's been about that length when Mark's on the show too.
Should I be calling you Mr. Cameron?
You can call me.
So we don't get the confusion since you're both named Mark.
You can call me Mark, MC, Mark Cameron, whatever works for you.
Can I call you the almost UPF championship title holder?
I swear to God.
Anyways. Thank you for joining us, by the way, Mr. MC.
I would say it's a pleasure.
So, I got to tone it back down now for this first piece of news. Can't be smiling for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should do a different piece first.
Just clear your throats. Moment of silence.
Yeah. Let me. So, sad news for WWE.
And
Road Warrior Animal. Come here.
Sorry.
Road Warrior Animal. Joe Laurinaitis passed away today, I believe. I believe it was today. I don't know if it was today or yesterday because sometimes things are delayed. But he passed away. Very upsetting.
Yeah.
And
like the way everyone found out wasn't even really through news outlets. It was through Hulk Hogan's tweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I saw on Reddit somebody made a post about Hulk Hogan's tweet about it, and they're like, did Road Warrior Animal pass away?
Oh God, that's so sad.
And then after that, there was confirmation.
And I think the saddest part is that he was 60, which
is
not that old. I mean, what? My dad's almost 70 now, and he's in pretty decent health, I would assume. So
that's about the age of my
nowadays.
parents.
60 is like, yeah. Now, as our parents get older, I feel like we're both just like 60. But yeah, super sad.
Yeah.
But at the very least, it's been kind of nice to see across all brands and companies and stuff. It seems like there's a lot of people that have nothing but nice things to say. So,
I mean, I've seen this before, and I've said it also that like the wrestlers and the talent in WWE and AEW and across all wrestling brands have nothing but respect and admiration for each other because they're all just friends. It's just brands compete, companies compete. Chris Jericho competes.
The day, everyone seems to have respect, at least for like the other wrestlers. Maybe not so much like the people in charge of the wrestlers, but all wrestlers seem to kind of have like the same across brand respect for one another, unless they're like someone horrible, but that doesn't seem to be the case very often. So yeah, very sad. But I guess at the very least, at least you can be remembered happily.
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk about death. God damn.
I'll never forget his what was the name of his tag team? Was it the Road Warriors?
I believe so.
Their gear is like iconic because it's literally just spikes on football shoulder pads.
It's quintessential early entertainment wrestling, I feel like.
It's either Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, as Mike clarified.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like because I think I like a lot of those like uniforms when it's something very basic with spikes or something on top because it's like it just reminds me of like someone being like, you know what, I'm gonna start a wrestling group or something like that, and just being like, well, I've got my football shoulder pads and I've got these foam spikes.
It's very genuine.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. Now let's jump into the rest of the news that I can make fun of and maybe lighten the mood a little bit here. There's a COVID outbreak in NXT.
Didn't you say, I know you told me while we were watching the show that WWE is like trying to deny it?
So basically what I wrote down here is there a COVID break in NXT? Is there not? No one knows except for the people who have COVID. Which basically I'm saying here, there was a report that apparently there were several people in NXT that had COVID. And then there were several people in NXT in WWE saying, no, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But then we watched NXT today and there were no trainees.
Yep.
So, unless they were all on a field trip together.
Oh boy. I mean,
not a good look.
A couple weeks ago,
I mean,
I heard that they were kind of bringing all trainees back to the performance center to, start up training again. But I feel like they'd still have people at Full Sail. That's the name of it.
yeah, like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, so you do your work during the work hours and then you tape NXT in the evening hours.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say it's not a good look that like all of a sudden like the NXT trainees aren't there, because like if there is a COVID outbreak, I guess it is a good look to be like, hey guys, stay home. But it's coupled with the bad look of being like, no, there isn't. Yeah. There just isn't any trainees here today. And then in addition to that, speaking of weird shit that's happening now in different performance arenas, I guess, for WWE. Drew McIntyre has some commentary on the drones that they use in the Amway Center or Amway Place.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear this.
So the quote alone was kind of cringy, and it makes me love Drew so much more because he's such a goddamn goof. He's still super hyped about everything that is happening.
Of course.
And furthermore, justifying my love for his just amusement with the spectacle. Drew said that they once flew a drone like a little too close to his head. And he was like, if you do that again, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to use it as a weapon against my opponent. And I said, Drew, if you grab it, you're going to have a sliced up goddamn hand, so don't.
I hope he does.
It's just, I don't think he gets it. I love him so much, but I don't think he quite understands that there are so many people that I've heard of, like, just, like, getting hit by a drone because, like, the drone was flying, they lifted their hand, and just getting sliced. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm really worried. He makes me feel like my father would say something stupid like that, where he's just like, oh, like, with tornadoes, he's like, I don't care if there's a tornado warning. I'm going outside. I'm going to watch it happen. And I'm like, no, you're going to die. But also, and I feel like I'm hearing this from Drew now, where I'm like,
what kind of experienced professional drone pilot is flying close to people's heads? You have all that stadium space. You got so much room. Just don't cut to the drones so they don't have to get close. The drones should only be used for wides.
Hey, Mr. Cameron,
yeah.
Do you think that the WWE is hiring like super experienced people? Because super experienced people have full rates, and less than experienced people are like, yeah, I'd love to work for the WWE, fly my drone around.
I mean, any experienced TD wouldn't be cutting back and forth that much.
So you see, the root of the problem is the WWE.
Yeah.
That's what this all comes down to.
Yeah.
And going back to some Raw news, sort of, kind of, it wasn't really news, it was a thing that happened last Monday. On top of the fact that there is a good chance that the Viking Warriors are on the rocks as far as, like...
Viking Raiders?
Yeah, sorry. The Viking Raiders are on the rocks as far as the tag team goes because of Ibar. Mm-hmm. That's something that I read, which... don't love it, but don't see another way around it. I guess there's a chance that the storyline for Aaliyah, Mysterio, and Murphy are that they could possibly have a relationship. And I'm going to be honest with you. She's 19. He's 31.
I'd rather they were just siblings. Just write them to be siblings. Like...
If it turns out, if they finally spin this story around and they're, like, in love with each other... I'm walking away from Raw. I'm gonna have to. Or I just won't comment on the sections.
Mike said same company who features Dream in Theory.
Oh, I know. That's
You're just rubbing it in.
That's why I'm reporting this. Because I genuinely believe that they would do that. In every sense of the word. Because she's a pretty girl. I guarantee you that they're like, she's pretty, it doesn't matter that she only just was able to vote last year.
And she's legal.
It's legal.
Alexa Bliss is just cackling.
Dude, as a girl, if that were my ex and I was watching that happen after like whatever the hell happened between us, I'd be like, okay.
Now, I want to try and meet that time frame that you so bragged about beforehand about meeting the 24 minutes. We're at 20 minutes right now. Look, I'm a competitive guy. I'm in the UPF for God's sakes.
Yeah, just not competitive enough to win.
Wow. Wow.
Would you like to hear my last piece of news?
Sure.
Happy Christian Girl Autumn. We're getting crunk on WWE wine.
Oh, that's the news. Was it Undertaker wine?
Yeah. We have Undertaker wine. Let me pull this up for you guys. They released the news, I believe. What day is it? It's the 23rd. So they released the news that this was happening 3 days ago. I checked it out yesterday. The WWE Wine's website is still a not purchased domain name. It is on a WordPress blog that you can, if you knew the login, you could 100% destroy the website, which I think is hilarious. So we have Undertaker, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Ultimate Warrior, Zinfandel. They have not released anything else yet. They are taking suggestions in case you just wanted to give them a suggestion for your favorite WWE legend. Sad news is that I don't drink red wine, so I can't get crunk on it, but I will be buying Marcus a bottle of Undertaker. Don't tell him, please, Mr. Cameron. But I will be buying Mark a bottle of Undertaker Cabernet Sauvignon just so I can watch him drink it.
I'll grab some too. I'll grab the... You're going to grab the Undertaker one for him?
Yeah.
I'll grab the Ultimate Warrior one.
Okay. I think he's going to like them. Yeah. I really do hope that they come out with a white wine, though. Maybe...
Maybe like a Sting. A Sting white wine.
Or a Gold Dust white wine. Give me a Gold Dust Chardonnay.
Oh no,
That'd be so fun.
Gold Dust Champagne, John Cena white wine.
Or maybe a CM Punk white wine.
And then
because he's white and he wines a lot.
A Beth Phoenix rosé.
Stop. I would buy... So they have a 2-pack, a 4-pack, and a 6-pack in case you want to buy in bulk. Nice. You can also buy them singles. I would absolutely buy a 6-pack Beth Phoenix rosé.
Mike said giving the straight edge guy a wine would be awesome.
Because it's perfect for 2 reasons. Because he does complain a lot, and he's straight edge. It works.
To be
fair,
and
it'll give him something new to complain about.
To be fair, I kind of like when CM Punk complains because he's
absolutely.
so funny about it.
I'd pay to have a book of CM Punk complaining.
I want to see him come back and bring back the straight edge society.
All right, calm down. Jeff Hardy has enough going on in his life. He doesn't need another distraction.
I want to see Elias as a part of it too.
I don't want to see Elias.
I do. I want to see Elias on Raw Underground and fight Shane McMahon.
Well, first of all, he and Shane are buddies, so that would not happen. Second of all, I just want Elias, and I want Jinder, and I want Jimmy to all come back just to remind me that they are alive and still employed by the WWE. That's all I need.
Yeah. And Kane. Kane's technically still on the roster.
Kane's also, kind of racist, so...
I mean...
They're already bringing back Jackson Riker, who, by the way, I just want to make this point right now. Now that we know where Jackson Riker leans politically, his name for WWE makes me feel a little...
Well, because I watched a little bit of the podcast, or Mark told me he was watching a little bit of podcast, and he told me about what he watched. And
I didn't talk about this part though. I did not make any comments about his name because I wanted to wait until somebody was here to talk about it.
You mentioned the whole Forgotten Sons coming back thing. I read that article. It mentions them coming back, but it also says there's no news on like Jackson Riker's status in the company right now. I know like the main roster is more strict about that stuff than NXT, so there's hope, but there's also dread that they might just be pushed down to NXT again. I would love to see Blake and Cutler back, because I really liked Cutler and Blake too.
It's delicious.
But I think they should drop the whole "we're veterans and we're not respected."
Yeah,
I mean, it's the government that doesn't respect veterans.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like maybe you might have to tweak the. Like you can keep the veterans aspect for sure, but
sorry, Mike just said bring back first off he said Cax and Riker to kill Antifa or Retribution. Ooh. Oh my god. Anyway.
Well, yeah, no, it was something I noticed the other day because I didn't really think about it when like we were talking about Forgotten Sons in the first place because I was like, oh, they're kind of annoying, but whatever. And yeah, it's kind of a bad angle that like the Forgotten Sons and the Miz and Morrison are fighting the two tag teams of color. But then after everything happened and after he sided with Trump the whole time, I was like, your wrestling last name makes me kind of uncomfortable, dude. Absolutely. Maybe
Rikers Island.
Oh, see, I was going with a different thing. As someone who celebrates Hanukkah, I feel like I'm allowed to say this, but it just makes me hear words that I don't really want to hear when I'm watching wrestling sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Especially when you couple his political views with it, I'm like, I'm just going to assume you didn't choose it for yourself and that maybe someone else chose it for you. It's just a weird coinky-dink that you're also a racist.
I just want to end this part of the news by just saying that I dated someone, or sorry.
You've dated someone?
Mark dated someone.
Oh, okay.
Who now has a child.
Mr. Cameron's a virgin.
Right. Well, no. I get mad chicks. All right, because I'm the champ in more ways than one. Just Mark dated a girl who now has a son named Jackson, spelled that same way.
Actually, my sister-in-law sort of kind of has, or I guess it's my sister. My sister's sister-in-law also had a child named that, and that family's a little bit messy. So I'm just gonna assume that name. Maybe it's fine. Maybe you're born with that name, but also sometimes, ooh, bad paths. Bad paths when you put an X where a CK should be. That's what I'm just gonna say there.
Except the name Jax. I like JAX.
Nia Jax?
Yeah, I'm turning around to Nia Jax. And there's a video game character named Jax. Meanwhile, you have somebody named Jax, JACKS. No.
Alright.
Nia Jackson Riker. Anyway, you want to move on to You want to move on to the matches and promos?
I suppose.
Also, if you're looking for Monday Night Raw podcast, not yet. If you're looking for that podcast,
decided not to post
it. Mark will get to it. He just wasn't home until 5 o'clock yesterday.
I don't know.
So he had no time to edit it, but he told me it will be up tomorrow along with this one. I'll make sure he gets to it. Kick his ass if I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like your sister kicked your ass today.
Yeah. You invited me on this podcast.
I know, and there was one reason and one reason alone. It was because I thought you're going to be the champion. Now here we are.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind whenever you ask me to come back on.
Do you want to start with the matches and promos?
I guess.
I think your shades look really nice, by the way.
Thanks.
So we start tonight's NXT, which ultimately was a very good NXT. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna beat around that bush at all. But the first match was a bit messy. It was a little wild. It was a little weird. Casey Canzaro stole my goddamn heart one more fucking time.
We started with a promo. We started with a nice little promo. As they were right after they did Candace's intro, they cut to before the. You kidding?
I'm so sorry, sir.
I was
Tapped
talking.
him.
Anyway.
I'm the host of the show. I can sneeze whenever I goddamn want.
I'm the guest. Oh, great. Now you're choking.
No, I saw the Yankees score. It was not good.
Well, we started off with a little promo that was earlier in the day. Candace attacked Tegan. The refs broke it up. But then Candace goes back in for more. And Tegan's crying about her knee, which, when will that thing ever fucking heal? When will she not need the brace? AJ Styles is gonna get real pissed.
It's been since War Games, which was 2019 November, I think.
So almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year now. That should have healed by now, I think.
Oh, Mike, the refs are very poor at breaking anything up.
Oh, the refs are just there to be like, hey, that's a bad thing to do. Don't do that. I can't stop you. Don't do it.
I'm not allowed to touch ladies.
Oh, Triple H said not to touch the women.
That's left to Velveteen Dream.
That's Austin Theory's job. Oh, wait, you're over 16? Okay, actually, no, he won't even help you. Sorry.
Okay, so, yeah, now it's your turn.
Oh, am I still talking? Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
I know that's Mark's
so
thing.
Candace,
Sorry.
yeah, you do it really well, though.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So Candace gets her own walkout, which was, there was already 41 women inside the ring, so it was a little weird. And then Maria gets her own walkout too, which I get it. Like, we're not going to introduce all 40 women, which, by the way, was supposed to be 12 women, and then it was 12 women plus 891 NXT trainees that all were given different lady names that were not lady names.
You easily could have. They could have just left it at the 12, not brought in all these trainees, and still would have been just as good of a match because some of them you had eliminated during commercial breaks. Like, just have it be the 12 you announced, not these people you've literally never introduced before.
I tried putting like some highlighter on my chin. Now my chin just looks greasy. I'm very upset about this. I was told to make me look like a doll.
You look like a greasy doll.
I know. Like a Seth Rollins doll.
Or a Firefly Funhouse doll.
I don't want to be Sister Abigail.
No, you're the condor.
I'm the buzzard. Mercy the buzzard. That's what
no. You're the what was it? The parrot or whatever. The one that died in the box. Yeah.
We got so hyped. We were like, "Oh, Brave's introducing a new friend," and he's like, "Well, it's dead." I was like, anyways, we're talking about SmackDown. It's NXT night. Oh my god. Anyways, Speaking of weirdly named people, so I didn't take real notes up until like halfway through
You
this match.
didn't
By
need
that I mean,
to.
like, yeah. So Rhea throws Gia out. Then Raven's thrown out by Raquel, and then Rhea throws out Ellie. But also later on, Beth's like, "Oh, and Rhea threw out Ellie," as like she throws out another person. We already talked about Ellie, so I don't know why there was a second one in the ring. Definitely fucked up the name somewhere. We also could have just like used 5 extra minutes of creative time to be like, here's a stupid ass fucking name for this girl. Let's use that. Like, I don't know. You gave Retribution stupid names. Just use a couple of those from the drawing board. I don't care.
T-Bar was thrown out of the ring. Slapjack knocked out Aaliyah. We now have AIM away message entering the ring.
And not Tio Madden. Oh my god, we're never getting through this podcast.
IHOP has jumped the ring.
I hope everyone could hear my lungs wheeze there. So apparently Marina Shafir's in the ring. And you know what, Mike? You lost Aaliyah and I lost Marina. Because Marina just got tossed out like she was just some other groupie hanging out. And I was like...
No, she willingly left because she had to get to Raw Underground.
Marina was beating up bitches in Raw Underground in a goddamn maxi skirt, and you're just throwing her out of a ring. You're just like, oh, whoopsies. Like, okay. Sure. Anyways. So, Rhea throws out Marina. I scream for like 10 minutes. Raquel throws out Avery. And then Casey gets thrown out, but her feet never touch the ground.
This was such a stupid fucking rule.
Hey.
Hi.
I know that you're a guest to the podcast, but this is a no Casey Catanzaro hate zone.
I'm not hating on Casey, I'm hating on the rules.
That's how all the battle royals work.
Yeah. It's stupid. Just like how Asuka landed on somebody and stayed in because
she landed on Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah.
It was part of the story.
And look how far that went.
Yeah. Sasha got her neck broken by a metal chair.
Yeah. Bayley landed on Sasha.
So.
Sorry.
So, Casey's feet never touch the ground, so she finds her little American Ninja Warrior fucking way back into the goddamn ring, and I was like, oh my god. What can she do? Nothing. She's amazing.
Except save Kaden.
No, that was Kaden's own goddamn fault. Rhea slaps Aaliyah out of the ring and takes her eyelashes with her. I mean, no offense, Mike. It was kind of a baller fucking move. Kaden then reverses a throw out by Zia. Zaya, sorry. I got the Aaliyah in my head and it was all fucking... but Kaden reverses a throw out. She throws Zia Lee out. And then Casey is once again thrown out by Indy Hartwell, but she lands on the fucking barricade.
You see, this I'm happy with. I like this use of the rule. This was nice. This was
bananas.
Yeah.
She refuses to touch the fucking ground. She tries to jump in. Indy still gets her out. She still jumps up onto the fucking barricade because, like, it's like a cat in a bathtub. She's like, no.
Also, real quick, can I just say that this fight was fucking awkward because there were no trainees, and so you only hear just slaps and grunts from everyone in the ring. You don't hear any crowd noise. Meanwhile, later on, you hear crowd noise for some reason.
You see that black lump?
Oh, is that the cat?
That black lump? That's the kitten.
Oh, little kitten.
She has 2 beds, and we've had her for a year now. She's only just started using that one fucking bed. Anyways, so Kaden tries to help Casey back into the ring, and in doing so, Raquel launches Kaden out, and Kaden's like, "Well, I'm already down here. Casey, do you want to lift?" And tosses her in because friendship is good, despite what Raw and SmackDown will have you know. Friendship is good. Raquel then launches Rhea out, and in turn launches herself out of the goddamn ring. So they're not contenders anymore. Dakota's fucking having a goddamn panic attack in the corner, which I was like, you have won matches without Raquel. Like,
I think it's more so like her chances just halved because Raquel's now
out. So Casey finally throws Indy Hartwell out. God bless. If it was going to be Casey before Indy, I was going to have problems. Dakota then attacks Casey. Candice helps out a little bit. Candice throws Casey out, and then Shotzi throws out Dakota and starts targeting Candice. Shotzi gets a bulldog on Candice, and step up insecurity that looked like it connected like a motherfucker. And then Candice gets a neck breaker on Shotzi. Shotzi kicks Lorraine in the side of the fucking head. Candice is she's on the stairs. She's about to fucking end it all. Shotzi tries to push her off. But I guess Candice had like Gorilla Glue on the bottom of her fucking shoes tonight.
This last 1v1 was like the best part of this whole fight. This was great.
Undoubtedly. Candice tosses Shotzi up the stairs to win. And it was a fucking hard throw, first of all. But then Johnny comes out, and it's Johnny and Candice time. And I love Johnny and Candice time because we're friends. We're all friends.
They're so supportive of each other.
They are. We love a good relationship, a healthy relationship that's fueled on a psychotic rage.
Yeah, but they're psychotic together.
You gotta find someone who also appreciates your hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't like Lana and Bobby or Lana and Rusev. This is like...
This is good stuff.
Yeah, this is a good relationship.
I love it. Anyways, would you like to talk about Fandango and his weird fucking chart?
Oh my god, this was weird. I didn't even recognize Fandango here. So Fandango's got
either.
Fandango's got his algorithm for the #1 contender for the tag team title. If you have a screenshot, I would like you to read out all the names in a second.
I'm trying to find it now.
But so he has William Regal next to him as he's wearing like a detective's outfit. And he's got Danny Burch, Roddy, Raul Mendoza, and Fabian Eichner all together. And I was confused at first. I thought this was going to be a fatal 4-way, but no, this is a tag team match with Roddy and Danny Burch versus Fabian Eichner and Raul Mendoza. So faces versus heels. And I don't know how we're gonna get the contender out of this. I guess we're gonna have like a singles match or a tag team match after, but it's a cool idea.
So first of all, I just want to point out that technically Roddy is not a face. So it was basically heels versus heels.
Well, I wouldn't call Danny Burch a heel.
I guess not. I guess Oni's probably more of a heel. So I do have the tweet in front of me though, but the outcome is that the tag team that wins, their 2 tag teams, since it's one person representing both, are now going to fight, I believe, next week in anticipation of TakeOver.
So wait, it's it's both whole tag teams?
Right. So the tag team that won tonight is going to now... The teams that they have represented are now going to probably have a tag team match next week in anticipation of TakeOver.
So it's going to be Oni and Danny versus Roddy and Bobby.
I was trying not to spoil it.
Oh, sorry. This is my first time on the podcast. I'm still trying to get used to the rhythm.
Mr. Cameron. Oh my goodness.
Sorry. I'm messing up everything today, okay? Not my best day.
Would you like me to read you the names of Fandango's understanding of the tag teams?
Yes.
So we have Danny, spelled Danee, Birch, spelled like the tree, and Uno Lorcan, Billy Fish and Robert Strong, Fabio Acne and Marty Barty.
Marty Barty.
And Ryan Bulldog and Quinoa Wild. Which, to be fair, that kind of just sounds like me trying to type things while not looking at my computer during NXT. That's pretty much what I've done multiple times. Because I do definitely call Bartel Barty. Every single time.
I do love how they're kind of putting Fandango in like a more of a focus and letting his personality shine, especially after Southpaw.
It was just like one of those things where like I saw the title on like the whiteboard that said Fandango's #1 contender algorithm. And I was like, is that Fandango? And every time, even with Southpaw, like I sit there and I'm like, is that him? And I don't know why, but it's like if he does not have his hair out and he is not wearing his bell bottoms, I don't know who the fuck he is. He could walk by me like in a supermarket and be like, that's a man. Guy. So.
Actually,
then we have...
Before that, we skipped over something.
Oh, did we?
There was a little interview with Damian Priest.
Makes sense I skipped over it.
He was just talking about, what was he talking about? Like Austin Theory or something? And then started talking about Johnny. Because it was announced.
And then he said that Sarah's doing a good job.
Oh, at least he respects the interviewer. Or
Mackenzie?
Probably Mackenzie.
Well, would you say that it was respect because he was like, you should see me at the after party? So I don't really know if it was respect more than him just being like, I sat in a hot tub with 2 other girls. Why not make it a third? I'm Damian Priest.
But yeah, apparently before that, it was announced that Johnny and Damian are going to have a title match at TakeOver, which is cool.
Right. And that was announced prior to NXT tonight. But I decided to save the secret until I watched it because I didn't want to open up the article. I was like, I'm going to watch NXT. I'm going to find out. I did, however, for some reason, I thought that TakeOver was going to happen at the end of October. I don't know why I thought it was going to... I don't know why I didn't expect it to be happening so soon.
I don't know. I always figured, like, if they announce something, it's going to be soon.
This just, unfortunately... And again, I don't know how I didn't realize that this was happening. At this point... I really have no clue. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, because NXT TakeOver happens, October 4th, I think?
Yeah. Something else also happens October 4th.
I don't want to talk about that right now. Yeah, October 4th. I don't know why I thought it was happening later. I think it's blown my mind, and now I'm realizing that we're going to have another 2 weeks of hell.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to go into...
or rather, actually, you're not going to be part of it. Mark will be. Mark and I are going to have another 2 weeks of hell. Unless you want to join us again, which you're more than welcome to.
I appreciate it. We'll see. Hopefully I'm in a better mood then.
Yeah, man. We don't like having losers on the podcast, unfortunately, so hopefully.
Okay. Now you're just name calling.
I mean, technically you did lose, so. Do you want me to jump into the next match while you think things through?
I don't need to think anything through. Just jump right into it. Whatever. Okay. Let's just get all this done.
Okay, so we have Tommaso versus Jake Atlas, a grudge match from 2 weeks ago now, I think. We start off with Jake Atlas and his, God damn it, I need him to find a better goddamn intro. Something that's more cohesive. Something that either matches the sparkly jacket, something to match the red and white and black bottoms, or something to match the super techno goddamn fucking walkout. I get 41 messages as I'm watching it. I'm like, Christ. Jake. You can't walk out with that fucking cool-ass jacket and have this weird-ass fucking walkout and the less than stellar bottoms. Like, you look like your enhancement talent with the goddamn bottoms. And the jacket's so cool. It throws me. Anyways. So we start off with Jake sending some little choppy chops to Tommaso's chest. Jake then pulls Ciampa out of the ring, stomps him for a little bit. Kind of looks like he wants to do the thing that Tommaso did to him a couple weeks ago, where he catapulted him into the bottom of the ring. But Tommaso kind of kicks away. Once they're back in the ring, Tommaso clotheslines Jake and gets a nice little chin lock on him. Jake cartwheels behind Ciampa, gets an inverted atomic drop on him, and then a drop kick. And I think that was around the time that we both kind of realized, like, oh, we're watching a match.
Yeah, this was like a surprisingly great match.
We're watching a fight. Okay. Jake Atlas then bombs Tommaso into the ground, punches him a little bit, gets a waist lock on him, sends a pump kick to his face, and the pump kick connected just so goddamn well that, you know, sometimes you see sweat fly off someone's face. Sometimes you see spit come out of their mouth when they're punched in the jaw or something. The way Tommaso acted and what we saw kind of looked like Tommaso lost a goddamn tooth. I didn't like it that much. And the fact that he was just like sitting around like, like, oh no, he might be one tooth down. Jake then moonsaults off the second rope onto Ciampa. And then finally he tries to do a cartwheel DDT, which was really cool, and it would have been really cool if he had like actually landed it. He didn't. He misses Ciampa. This gives Ciampa the leg up. He pulls off a willow. Is it a Willow's Bell or is it a Widow's Bell? I think it's a Widow's Bell.
Widow's Peak? Oh no, not Widow's Peak. I think
Widow's
Bell. Widow's Bell.
Yeah.
BLL.
This is a Widow's Peak.
Yeah.
No. But he pulls off a Widow's Bell on Jake Atlas, who kind of looks like he's like seizing at the end of it, which I was like, oh, buddy. Ciampa decides that he's not going to cover. Just kind of sits over him for a little bit. And then pulls off the fairy tale ending, and Jake Atlas was like, dead until NXT TakeOver, when I'm sure that they will have a match. You can't fool me. I'm not a goddamn idiot. I'm ready. All right. You want to talk about the goddamn promo that happened afterwards? Because I don't.
Yeah, it was just a promo with Ridge first. You know, he was talking Ridge things, you know, being British. And then after that,
Yorkshire.
what was the next? Oh, this was a promo for it was like one at a time. Everyone competing in the Gauntlet Eliminator was kind of just talking about the match. I didn't really listen to what was going on. Yeah, started with Cameron. Timothy.
Went to Timmy.
Kushida.
Then Bronson.
Oh, Bronson.
Oh, then Kushida, then Bronson.
Okay, and then Kyle.
Yeah. I really liked Kyle in this promo, and it's not to speak to anything that happened later on, but like everyone was like talking with like their like stage voices, and Kyle was just kind of like talking. He was just kind of like, "Yeah, I really want this title."
Also, after this little match we talk about, I've got a little thing I want to bring up that might pique your interest a little bit.
Is it gonna make me upset?
Half and half. It might make you a little upset, but also might make you a little excited.
No, because if it's what I think it is, it's not gonna make me excited at all.
We'll
it's gonna
see.
make me just upset.
Well,
if it has anything to do with Undisputed Era, I guarantee you, if you bring it up,
it has nothing to do with them breaking up.
Conflict.
It has nothing to do with them breaking up.
Okay.
It's kind of real life mixed with kayfabe.
Is Bobby still alive?
Assumingly he is, but that Bobby is part of it. But we'll get to it.
No.
Oh, hold on. I don't want to say it now. I don't want to spoil anything. Do you want me to just say it and spoil it? You want me to just say it and spoil it?
No, let me get through this match.
You sure you're...
No, tell me.
Okay,
no,
so...
Just tell me.
So, because it'll be ruined as I talk about this, Roddy and Danny win this match, and later on in the day, we see the rest of Undisputed Era, Roddy and Adam with Kyle, no Bobby. Now, normally the tag team match next week between Danny and Oni and Roddy and another member of Undisputed Era would have Bobby. But since Bobby isn't there for suspectedly having COVID, we might see... No! That's just the assumption. That's the assumption that he's not there. We might see a tag team match with Roddy and Adam.
Oh, okay. Fuck that. That doesn't upset me. I mean, it upsets me if Bobby has COVID, but I don't think he does.
And there's always the possibility, but I'm just...
Well...
I would love to see Roddy and Adam as a tag team.
Absolutely, that would be cool. My only thought here is the reason that Bobby wasn't around is I'm kind of feeling like it has something to do with the fact that there were also no trainees. So if there was an NXT COVID outbreak, it would make more sense that it would be like, it makes sense for Adam to be there. It doesn't quite necessarily make sense for Bobby to be there tonight based on everything.
How old's Bobby?
You see what I mean? 43.
I mean, he's 43. If he has COVID, he'll be fine.
I'm not worried about that per se. What I'm saying more so is that, like, I just think that they may have been cutting down on who should be there and who doesn't need to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimately.
I mean, Adam Cole didn't need to be there.
We'll get into it.
Okay. Let's start on the match.
Okay, God, you made me, like, really think, like, I was really worried there for a second. God damn it.
No, I was telling you, like, you have nothing to worry about.
Yes, and yet, in theory, I should not be worrying about any of this shit because it's wrestling. I have real life problems like bills. You wouldn't understand. I mean, you don't live here. I know you're just visiting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live anywhere. Kind of homeless.
That's not very champion-like thing.
I put up my house in the match. That's why I was so upset.
You should talk to Swerve. He's probably done something like that, I bet.
I would really not want to talk to Swerve.
Well, I mean, you both haven't gotten the title yet, so that makes sense. Anyways.
Wow. You know what? You know what? I'm done. I'm done. No.
Oh, no! Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I thought that we would have Mark Cameron around for a little bit longer, but... Oh, he's just taking his shirt off. He's just taking his shirt off in the mirror. Damn. Mark Cameron's really breaking down now, guys. You can't see him in that TV either, I'm sure. Oh, what an ugly laugh. Wow. Sorry, folks.
What was that all about? What happened? I just saw Mark Cameron, like, storm off. What's going on?
Yeah, it seemed like he took his shirt off prior to leaving, too. I saw it in the mirror and then on the TV.
The dude was pretty upset about earlier.
Yeah. Are you gonna be able to pull through on this because you weren't around to watch NXT? So
yeah,
it was
I watched on my phone.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I invited Mark Cameron and he seemed a little pissy about losing his match earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. He put his house up, by the way.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He's a pathological liar.
Damn. Well, some silver linings, I guess. Anyways, so in case you weren't following along, we're up to Roddy and Burch versus Eichner and Mendoza.
Okay.
All right. So we started off with Eichner and Roddy fighting each other. Roddy jumps over Eichner, and then Roddy's quickly clotheslined to the fucking ground. Eichner throws him a bit. And then Mendoza gets in, smacks Roddy in the face with his knee. Roddy gets Burch in finally. Danny gets a nice chokehold on Mendoza. Then I guess you could call it a knee breaker, because that's kind of what it looked like, from Birch to Mendoza. Danny then fools Mendoza, sending him into the corner head first. Eichner tries to interfere in the action using a spine buster against Danny. Eichner tries to interfere while Danny's looking over the ropes.
Yeah.
And then Mendoza pulls off a spine buster on Danny, and it's not looking hot for anybody. Danny Burch is then choked out. We lost signal for a minute here with our TV. But this is where we tune back in. Danny Burch is choked out by Mendoza. He powers out with some punchies, and then does a sunset flip to Mendoza. Eichner gets in. Eichner punches Roddy off the corner. Poor thing. Doesn't last too long. Strong gets in. Clotheslines Eichner. And just... It's not just one clothesline. It's like 41 clotheslines. Roddy then throws Eichner into Mendoza and yells, "Get your ass up." And if there's one thing that I appreciate about Undisputed Era, it is the amount of yelling and swearing that both Roddy and Bobby do on a semi-regular basis.
Get your ass up.
It was like, you just threw him into another man and a post. I think it's going to take him at least 3 seconds. Good lord, sir. Also, Roddy was like the entire time just like cheering Danny on. He was like, "Yeah, Birch, get them." And I was like, oh my god, my boys. Mendoza then kicks Roddy in the back. And Eichner throws Roddy into the canvas with a spine buster. Roddy's feeling bad. Danny's feeling bad. No one's feeling really high except for Eichner and Mendoza. Roddy kind of mixed up there. Sorry. Roddy kind of fights free, sends Eichner out. Doza's the legal man. He drop kicks Roddy. Roddy throws Mendoza into the apron. And Mendoza kicks Birch in the fucking neck. But Roddy said, "Aha, but I have one thing that all of the Undisputed Era boys have, and that is my goddamn kneecaps." And he shoves one straight into Eichner's fucking face. Birch then pulls Mendoza off the top rope into a facebuster onto the canvas. Fucking wins it for him and Roddy. And then Roddy refuses to shake Danny Birch's hand and walks out doing the fucking Undisputed Era hands, and I was like, oh god.
A good match.
It was a really great match.
I liked seeing Danny kind of come alive. Oh, he did amazingly. Nice. Great. Awesome. So after that, we had an interview with Austin Theory, which is interrupted by Johnny, who basically says, "You have a match with Damian Priest, and I have a match with him at TakeOver. You better soften him up for TakeOver and win. Otherwise, I'm coming for you." And then Damian Priest interrupts. What?
I was going to say that it was more so he said, "Hey, if you soften him up during this match, I'll remember it. No, I'll help you out."
Mm-hmm.
Which Austin Theory said, "Oh yeah, brother." Not bad.
Damian Priest didn't interrupt in this. I'm thinking of a different promo.
I thought you were, I was going to say, I think you might be confusing that, which is why I interrupted you at that moment exactly.
So it's your turn.
Wahoo. So we have Triple Question Mark versus Damian Priest. Damian starts off with an arm sub on Austin, and it's then reversed to Damian, and then Damian wrenches Austin to the canvas. Gets a chokehold on Austin, who immediately turns purple, and then... Sorry, my note says choke on Austin and elbow. I'm going to assume that he elbowed him in the face. Damien then smacks Austin into the goddamn canvas. Crossbody to Austin off the top rope. He pulls off a really fucking awesome neck breaker, and then an arm drag. Austin, however, drops Priest into the goddamn second buckle and just kind of starts pummeling him. Manages the belly to back suplex. Moonsaults onto Damien's absolutely dead body. And then Austin decides that it's part of my character. I'm going to make fun of Damien now while he lays motionless on the ground, because I guess that's a normal thing for a person to do. I'm still so mad that the cat's using that fucking bed. My God.
Damien. Oh, sorry.
I wasn't done.
I was gonna say.
Anyway, unless you have something to say about what's happened.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Damien looked great today.
Well, he looked good. Austin Theory also just looks like shit 90% of the time.
Yeah, but also Damien was pulling stuff off that we hadn't really seen from him. Even more so than when he was fighting Timothy. He didn't showboat at all today.
He did a little bit, but not as much as he normally does. There were a couple moments where I was like, I don't know if he's actually pulling his punches. And we'll talk about that in a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure he may have landed a couple. I mean, at this point, I was like, well, I've got to root for one of them for me to stay entertained with the match, because that's just how I am as a person. So I had to root for Damien. However, so we get a belly to back suplex, moonsault, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then Damien does the one move that I just don't fucking understand, which is the bell clap. I don't understand the bell clap at all.
Bell clap?
Like, yeah, if somebody did that to me yeah, the thing where he like comes up behind someone and like claps.
Like, well, let's say this is someone's head.
Like, if
he
I were
goes like that.
Yeah, which like, if I weren't expecting it, maybe, yeah. If someone like came up behind me on like the sidewalk and did that to me, I'd be like, holy fuck. I'd probably just like sit down, like, no.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like where
if I'm in a fight and someone does it to me, I'd be like,
it's like that where you clap somebody's ears. I think that's what it's supposed to be, but he overextends. So maybe his like forearms are hitting their ears.
I think it's like supposed to be like the biceps. Like the biceps make contact with the ears, and like it's like boxing the ears, and almost like he's just so fucking jacked. I don't. That's the only way I can make it make sense in my head.
It would be better if he did like this. I think that'd be better.
But also, that could actually genuinely hurt someone. You're very close to the temple when you do that. So
a lot of shit could really hurt somebody in wrestling, but they do it anyway.
Just ask Rich Holland.
Okay, well, we don't know if that was Rich Holland or Johnny's fault. I feel like
I've got other things. I've got other mean things to say about Ridge later.
Okay.
I don't think he's a safe wrestler. I think he's the Nia Jax of NXT, but we'll get into that.
He's also English, so he's also from rugby, so he's a lot less disciplined when it comes to safety. But anyway.
I don't like Ridge Holland. Not to spoil my that next part that I've got to get into at some point tonight. I don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So we then Priest managed to pull off a flatliner to the fucking little weirdo. And I really do also, I want to point this out. I've been holding back on saying this for a while, for like at least like the last few months. Damian Priest's moves are kind of fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like the flatliner is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the reckoning, I mean, the fucking the fact that his like whole like his showboaty thing with like the arrow is just him splashing someone in the corner is disappointing in like the biggest fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that don't require him to be like doing some weird like countdown shit or whatever are so awesome. And like he reminds me of Seth Rollins in a way.
He does a sick
with
arm
the way
drag.
like he does. And that's the thing is like his moves are so they're not super flashy, I guess. And I think that's what reminds me of Seth Rollins with him. And maybe I'm just saying that because he does the Falcon Arrow a couple times every once in a while. But he does really give me Seth vibes, and I think that's awesome for him. Because that's, I guess, if you're going to be compared to a wrestler, that's probably a good one to be compared to at this point. So Priest pulls off a flatliner on Game Theory, and Priest then gets up on the second rope. Austin sends him off of it. Theory drop kicks Priest, and then Damien's kind of getting that Tim Tam eyes, getting all pissy. And he kind of just fucking loses it. Gets a Falcon Arrow onto Theory. Right after he kind of elbows Theory in the jaw, like running elbow, and then Falcon Arrow. And then this is the part I want to talk about where I was like, I don't know if he's actually pulling his punches. And when it comes to Austin Theory, I don't really care about the safety that much. Austin had a bit of a waist lock on Damien, and Damien just went back, and you heard the smack of his elbow just connecting with the cheek, and I was like...
To be fair, that's like one move where you can't exactly like it's hard to kind of do softly, because in Damien's case, he doesn't know where Austin's head is. Austin
I'm not chastising him here.
I know. I'm just saying, like, this is on Austin to do, because I think what I heard is, like, if someone's doing that move, the one doing it has to, like, look in that direction to basically telegraph, and then Austin has to adapt and do what he has to do for that move. But if he took it hard, then that's all on him.
Which just makes me feel even better, honestly, because I saw Damien's arm go back with force, and I heard the connection, and I was like, I mean, my brain's not stupid. I know, like, I can kind of tell when somebody, like, makes a hit, and you can see their foot fall at the same time, and you're like, oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But Damien's feet were on the ground, Austin's hands were around Damien's waist, and I just see an elbow fly back, and I see Austin's face go, I was like, okay, sure. And then Austin Theory does the Austin Theory thing, which is pulling his punches way too soon, because now Damien had parted from him at that point, and Austin just goes back and stops and then follows through. Just like landed like a little boop on Damien's fucking spine. I was like,
you can tell Austin doesn't do the thumb and fist thing, the softened punches. For those who don't know, what it is you take your fist, slip your thumb in, keep your hand fist like that, and you have a cushion for a punch.
Oh, that makes sense.
And you also get a nice sound out of it.
Yeah, that was
because it echoes a little bit.
My little hollow palms. But yeah, Austin, like, I used to make fun of his, like, goofy, like, Three Stooges, like, whenever he got hit, but, like, that was one thing I was like, okay, some people do that. Randy does it sometimes.
Ricochet does that a lot.
Ricochet does it. Randy does it. So I was like, okay, I guess I can kind of forgive it. I guess I'm seeing other guys do it too, and they're more tenured, so fine. But, like, Austin, and maybe I guess, like, this is a good thing about him, that, like, he's not interested in hurting people.
Safe.
But he pulls, yeah, I guess, but, like, he pulls his punches so early that you can tell that it's just, like, this gentle little doop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know what a punch looks like.
Yeah.
That's not a punch. Anyways, so we can get through this fight. So Austin then powerbombs Damien, just kind of as a dick about it. He makes some jokes. And Damien does a cyclone kick to Theory and a razor's edge, slamming his goddamn spine into the apron. Finally, we get the Reckoning, which is just such a fucking cool move. The Reckoning it's like a deep six, but not.
Right.
I love the Reckoning. Again, another person that he reminds me of is Corbin, with a lot of his, like, special moves. And then Damien wins, which, to be fair, at the very least, Austin gave him a run for his money, as much as I fucking hate Austin Theory. And then Johnny Gargano comes out for a little preemptive, a little tacky poo. And then Mox's stupid ass fucking bow and arrow move. My God, I just wish that it was fucking like paired with something cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least like the Claymore kick with the countdown. Like yeah, it's a little cringy when like it fucking fails. But at least, like, the countdown's, like, one very small thing. Whereas Damien stands in the corner, does the whole bow and arrow, and then just...
You know what would be
right
cool?
to someone. It's like...
If he paired it with a drop kick.
Or with a fucking Falcon Arrow.
Or a superhero punch. Or a Superman punch, even.
It's, you're doing the bow and arrow, do the fucking Falcon Arrow afterwards.
What's the Falcon Arrow?
It's... I think it's the thing where I feel like describing a wrestling move is like describing a fucking color half the time. But it's basically where he gets the person up in the air and then slams them down so that they're straight and then they go down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm probably not describing it right either, but that would make more sense because it's like, ha, arrow. Falcon Arrow, get it? Because it's both arrow.
I mean, it's like Alexa Bliss's whole thing where she charges somebody and then just stops and slaps them.
I mean, I get it. She's cute. Like, that's her thing. But also at the same time, like...
We've also seen her very talented, too.
I want to see Alexa Bliss while out.
I want to see her just Sister Abigail everybody.
With a little kiss. I want her to Sister Abigail me with a little kiss. I deserve it.
But after that fight, we had a very interesting little vignette.
My only note for this is literally just what.
Now, for those who saw the Twitter, I foolishly thought that they were, because they made a whole thing about like we're bringing back something. You know, I thought what the person broke out of that case was the World Heavyweight Championship that they were bringing back. Because they combined it with the WWE Championship. So do you have information
on what it is?
I have speculation. I have what a lot of people have been saying it is. It's not a thing. It's a person. That person we saw could very possibly be Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas? Yeah. What?
That's what a lot of people are saying.
When you say a lot of people are saying that, what do you mean?
Like, I went
if I go onto the wrestling Twitter right now, am I going to see it?
I went on the post thread for this on Reddit, and literally every comment was saying that that's Bo Dallas. But, you know, they've been wrong before, so take that with a grain of salt, but possible.
I mean, the thing is that a lot of people... Oh, go on.
I was going to say, it's just weird that they kind of broke out a title out of a case. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, so we watched this. First, I thought they were like promoting another video game because at first, like, it was weird, and I was like, "Oh shit, they're like doing something with NXT." Mm-hmm. And then when it kind of cut to like when it cut out of like the darkness basically and into the night vision. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this looks like a video game. So maybe they're doing something weird. I don't know.
I think they were just doing like a little 360 camera trick.
Right. But I immediately thought that this was supposed to be an Io Shirai promo because the person in this video was wearing a jacket with like feathers on the shoulder pads. Like it looked like high shoulder pads and feathers, and it looked like a woman's body.
Yeah, I saw a couple people saying that it looked like a woman's body.
People are saying it's Tessa Blanchard, which at first I dismissed, and then I was like, well, at the same time, WWE just got in trouble because they used her picture in a video game, I think in whatever the fuck that weird one is called.
Yeah, that new one. She got very mad about it.
Right. There was like this whole thing where like they got in trouble because they were using her image and she was released. And then they came to an agreement just like a couple days ago that it was fine. The photographer was like, no, it's okay. Like you can use that picture. Everything went smoothly. And then people were saying, oh, that's Tessa Blanchard. And I was like, I don't think you're right. But it's hard to tell also if that's a fucking title that they're breaking out or a person.
Yeah. I don't know.
And there was like also normally with this shit, like if this were Monday or Friday, both both of the normal like the Wrestle Talk and like cage side seats and shit like that, the things that we follow on the podcast on our Twitter, normally they'd be talking about it, but because it's NXT and AEW night, no one's fucking talking or speculating that much right now as far as like reputable sources. Because there's also AEW to contend with Jon Moxley giving up, or not giving up, but like challenging people to his fucking title.
Yeah.
So it's like, and Cody with his like emo Spider-Man look now. So people aren't talking about this, and I'm like, I just want to know. I want to know what the fuck is going on. And I don't. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm on what is this? WrestlingInc.com, and they talk about the vignette a little bit. They said the new video game style vignette teases the return of NXT Superstar on October 4th, the date of the next takeover event. The mystery person is using a voice changer, but it sounds like they're coming back for their title, perhaps the NXT title. The video shows a WWE video game character throwing something at a glass case that is holding an NXT title belt. That's it. I could look at past NXT title winners.
Do you think they're bringing back Chelsea Green, but like in a weird way? Because like the whole thing was like, oh, they're bringing her up in Retribution to like the main roster, and then it never came to fruition.
Bo Dallas was a title holder, could also be Bobby Roode. He wasn't NXT, he was a title holder.
I don't, that doesn't make sense with his like thing, like with this shtick. That's not glorious.
I don't know. Well, let's see.
Being brought back down to NXT is not glorious.
The past title holders have been Finn Balor, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Adam Cole, Johnny, Tommaso, Aleister Black, Andrade, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, Bo Dallas, Big E Langston, which is Big E, and Seth Rollins. So it's either Bo Dallas or Adrian Neville, but he goes by Pac now, and he's part of AEW, I think. Yeah, he's part of AEW. So the only one who's a past NXT title holder who is currently not active is Bo Dallas and Bobby Roode. And Bobby Roode is more than likely going to be returning to Raw. Right. So Bo Dallas is really the only male NXT title holder that would be coming back for the title. But it looked like a woman! Right. Now if I go to NXT Women's Champion
What if it's just Chelsea Green? Repackaged. Pulling a Carmella with her.
Reigns. Okay, so as far as Reigns go, Io Shirai, who's here, Charlotte Flair, who wouldn't be coming back to NXT, Rhea Ripley, who's here, Shayna, Raw, Kairi, gone, Shayna, Raw, Ember Moon, Asuka, Asuka.
Or a woman and I was being brought back to WWE, I would almost kind of hope it was NXT at this point.
Asuka, Raw, Bayley, SmackDown, Sasha, SmackDown, Charlotte, whatever, Paige.
Oh my god, I'm sure it's not, but imagine if it were. I would prefer Paige over Bo Dallas.
The video game thing would work with Paige. She's the only one it could work for.
Girl.
So there's 4 possible people it could be. It could be Bo Dallas. It could be Bobby Roode. It could be Ember Moon. Or it could be Paige. The 2 likely people it could be are Ember Moon and Bo Dallas.
But what if it was Paige?
Oh, sorry, Paige or Bo Dallas.
I mean, it could be Ember Moon because Ember Moon's been talking about coming back, but also at the same time, like, I don't know. Sorry, my nose is super itchy now. I don't know why. But this is like fucking annoying me now. Like I feel like somebody made this commercial and then implanted a worm in my brain, and this is all I can fucking think about now. Like I don't care about anything else. I don't care about what happens at SmackDown. I don't really care about Clash right now. I care about who the fuck is what the fuck was that promo? Normally I have speculation. I made speculation for the fucking Buddy and Seth promo. You weren't even here and I made that speculation. I made wild speculations. I did. This, I have nothing. I have nothing to go off of. And no one is reporting about it, and I'm losing my shit because I don't read Reddit. Oh my god. Ugh. I'm gonna be like one of those like women in like 18th century novels that just dies from like stress.
We spent a lot of time on this promo.
Yeah, because it's a fucking nightmare.
But after that, we had a little swerve promo where we were just talking about
God.
Santos again, coming back for that. And now this is all you.
Oh god. Okay, yeah. So fine. Let me channel this energy into something else. I fucking do not like Ridge Holland. Let's start there. That's my thesis statement. So we have Ridge Holland versus Antonio DeLuca. It's enhancement talent. I took 3 notes on this match. You know why? Because I knew it was enhancement talent. I'm not a goddamn Mark. No offense, Mark.
What?
Not directed to you.
I feel like it was directed at me.
No. It's the term for people who fall for shit easily in wrestling. Unfortunately, it just also rhymes with your name.
It rhymes?
Yeah, I mean, it ends with a K. Anywho.
Like, is that the whole fight?
No. The whole fight is that Antonio attacks Ridge, and Ridge kind of stops him at every turn. Ridge then slams Antonio into the goddamn canvas without supporting his fucking neck, so his head almost falls behind him in the fucking impact, in the fall down to the canvas. His head kind of goes back for a second, and I said, "Oh my god, you're gonna murder this guy if you keep doing that. If you don't put like a hand anywhere near the upper back," which his hand was close enough to do it. He could have done it. He didn't. He almost broke the fucking dude's neck in half, which is fine. It's NXT. You're learning. Don't like him. And I don't like the fucking hat. Anyways,
okay.
And then he does another thing that's very similar to that. He lands Antonio very high on his shoulders. And once again, I'm like, if you were like an inch shorter on that, you would have fucking broken the dude in half. So, instead of being the Nia Jax of NXT, maybe, learn how to be fucking safe. I can't imagine being a fucking NXT, like, jobber and being like, oh, well, my career's over because Ridge Holland fucking broke my neck.
Yeah.
I don't like the guy. I'm gonna be honest.
I know you don't.
I don't like him at all. Continue, please, with the promo before I talk for 5 hours about how much I hate him.
All right, so we had a interview with Io Shirai, talking about the #1 contender and Candice, and then Candice interrupts with Johnny. Io is talking in Japanese, and Johnny responds with, "I don't know what you're saying, but I don't like the sound of it." And then Damien pops on in, and we now have a little foreshadowing of a mixed tag between Johnny and Candice and Io and Damien. I could get behind that. I could see that happening. The way that they were just standing next to each other, staring at each other, that's definitely what they're foreshadowing. But then we move into the main event. Goddamn great match.
Holy shit, this fucking match. I didn't highlight my notes, so I'm sorry. We're going to have to go through a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to go fast. But we start with the Gauntlet Eliminator. We start with Kyle O'Reilly, my sweet, sweet lad, versus Kushida, my time-traveling lad. Kyle gets a necklock on Kushida. Kushida gets a leg sub on Kyle. They're just kind of grappling. And it's awesome because Kyle has a background in martial arts. Kushida's whole fighting style is based kind of in martial arts and submission and grappling, and that's perfectly paired for them. In addition to the fact that Timothy Thatcher comes in later on. We got to see a display of Kyle's talents that we don't normally get to see, and we got to see a display of Kushida's talents that we have not seen since the fucking cruiserweight tournament or whatever the fuck Regal put on. So they're grappling. There's a leg bar on Kushida, a chin lock on Kyle, turns into a crossface. Then Kyle sends some forearms to Kushida, manages to kick him in the fucking face. Kushida throws Riley down and then drop kicks him. And it's the weirdest, almost normally I see submission moves and I'm like, that looks like a nice stretch. Kushida gets the nastiest move on Kyle, who I believe at that point was laying on the ground with his arms pulled back by Kushida. And I was like, that doesn't look like a nice stretch at all. I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. So Kushida does that. Kyle powers out. Kushida gets another arm sub on Kyle. He stands up to get out of it, kicks Kushida, and then sort of kind of kicks him in the butt several times. Repeatedly. Kushida then kicks Riley in the knee, and then the face, and then the side. Then Kyle kicks Kushida right in the inner leg by the thigh. They start exchanging blows. Bronson is the next person in. And I said, oh no, this is where Kyle dies because Bronson's been kind of the poison for Undisputed Era as of lately. He kind of just punches the guys around for a while. He throws Kushida crossbody into Kyle and then attacks the guys in the corner. Bronson goes for a double Samoan drop, which is kind of his new thing. He did that, I think, the last time he was in. I think it was the ladder match, or not the ladder match. Yeah, it was a ladder match. I think he did that during the ladder match. Because he can lift two guys at once. It makes sense. He's a big guy. I am kind of happy that he has abandoned the thick boy gimmick, and that he's kind of just gone with the I'm a destroyer of worlds essentially gimmick.
I just want to see him develop a cool looking signature move. I feel like that would just be the final piece to the Bronson Reed puzzle.
And I think we're getting close to it because he has abandoned just thick boy as his thing.
Yeah.
Weird. It's not Bronson Reed thick boy, it's Bronson Reed. It's Bronson Reed. He's coming out. He's going to send on you and you're probably going to break your back. So get ready. So he goes for the double Samoan drop, but both men wriggle free. Then there's an armbar and Kushida transitioning from Kyle into a leg sub on Bronson. So Kyle basically had Kushida's arm. Kushida sort of got free because Bronson interfered. Kyle said, okay, you're just as good of a competitor. I'm going to take you down too. Gets a leg sub on Bronson, which I was like a goddamn cat, Kyle. Fuck. Kushida then intercepts, gets an arm sub on Kyle, and at that point I was like, hey, in case you guys didn't realize, you're about the same size. Maybe if you teamed up together on Bronson, you'd get him out quicker, but what the fuck do I know? Bronson just kind of falls down onto Kyle in a senton. Bronson then throws Kyle's spine first into the canvas. Kyle punches Bronson on the top rope to get him down because we all know that he's going for the tsunami. Didn't care for it. Kyle was not about it. He got him down. Kushida then kicks Kyle off the top rope. He slams him face first into the fucking stairs, and then Kyle lays on the ground outside the ring for a couple minutes, and we were both sitting there Kyle dead. Should we be worried? Maybe this is the end of Undisputed Era that we didn't see coming.
Where Kyle literally dies, and Bobby gets COVID.
where Kyle's nose bones go into his brain. Bobby has COVID, and now it's just Roddy and Adam like.
Adam falls into a depression, and now it's just Roddy.
To be fair, if anyone's falling into a depression, it's probably Roddy. The moment Dexter Lumis is back.
Oh, he hasn't been back in a while.
I don't want to talk about it, but I brought it up. I don't know why I did that. Dexter, come back. Maybe that's what the promo was.
Oh,
Dexter coming back for the title that like he didn't get to have because he got injured.
I'm gonna look back at that video again.
I'm just making that concept out of sympathy, but like if I'm right, I will gloat.
The video game thing wouldn't make any sense at all.
No, I want him. I just miss him. He did get a new shirt, so it's fine. It's fine. He's coming back sooner or later. Probably later. But anyways. Like I said, I did not highlight these notes, so I've got to get through them fast. So Kyle is now dead. Then Bronson's also kind of off to the side. Kyle's on the ground. Kushida's alone. Somebody with 4 question marks in their name comes out of nowhere and does a something Valley Driver to Kushida. The referee, Mr. Eddie Orengo, just looks back and is like, oh no, Kushida's injured. Even though I've been watching the 2 other opponents. That's interesting. Anyways.
If it was any other person, I would say that move looks cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a cool move.
Yeah.
It's just done by a pedophile. Bronson then eliminates Kushida with a pin. And right around that time, we get Tim Tam, Thatchy Thatch, arms and muscles ready for the matchy match, coming in to serve justice and immediately gets punched off the apron by Bronson.
Angry as hell, and then on the floor.
So, arm to the face, basically. And then we cut to commercial. When we come back, it's a human centipede. It's Kyle, Bronson, and Tim Tams, and it's a weird conga line, I guess. We get a belly-to-back suplex to Tim Tams, and personally by Bronson, and then another one to Sweet Sweet Kai Kai. Cameron Grimes comes out at this point. I guess I did not take any notes between Tim Tams coming out and Cameron coming out. Cameron comes out. Would you like to inaugurate Cameron?
And just get this far away.
I don't know where he's going.
To the moon! How much did I cut out?
Every other syllable.
Nice.
I really hope that B neighbors hear that every single fucking time. They're like, what? Why? So Cameron comes out, and then there's a crossbody to Bronson, super kick to Tim Tams, and a backflip. Black Phillip.
Black Phillip
Off the ropes. A backflip off the ropes to Tim Tam, Thatchy Thatch, arms and muscles ready for the matchy match. And then Kyle is just murdered by Cameron Grimes' boot. And around this point, I was like, well, Kyle's been in it from the fucking beginning. It's got to end sooner or later. I know this. I know I've been disappointed millions of times. It's got to end here. And then there's some forearms to Tim Tam from Kyle because Kyle apparently doesn't get tired. I don't know. And we're going to call it a deep 6. It wasn't a deep 6, but it was something along the lines of a deep 6. To Kyle from Cam. And then clothesline to Cameron from Bronson. They're Tim Tam and Kyle are exchanging blows for a while. Tim Tams chokes Bronson against the ropes. Then Kyle kicks Timmy in the face. Grimes goes off the top rope to Kyle, and Tim Tams sort of was launched by Bronson. I don't really know how the ropes work. I guess that's the thing that happens. Bronson did pull the rope down and like slingshot Cameron over onto Kyle and Timothy. Timothy then smacks Bronson's head into the apron. Bronson nearly kills Tim Tams with a Samoan drop. And Kyle's trying to do something. It doesn't work out because then Bronson powerbombs him into the fucking canvas. Goes over the top rope onto all of the men. Cameron and Kyle are in the ring. Kyle's kind of just being used as a punching bag for a while. And that rhymes. And I need to know how. Oh, God. Okay, I've got to go fast in this. I took a lot of notes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Kyle goes spine first into the turnbuckle because he sold the move too goddamn fucking well.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like that. That looked genuinely painful. And there's only a couple times when I'm watching wrestling where I'm like, he's dead. He's got to be dead now. I could have killed him, right? Timothy then kind of picks up where Cameron left off after Kyle's slung into that turnbuckle. Gets a leg sub on Kyle and then kind of uppercuts him. Cameron then gets Bronson onto his knees, which is probably where Bronson belongs in that kind of a match. Just because that's where he's like at equal footing, more or less. It's Timothy and Cameron versus Bronson. Bronson sends a low blow to Cameron. Kyle's kind of just getting fucking slammed around. And then Bronson decides to power slam his ass. Throws Timothy into Cameron. Kyle's just kind of dead. Bronson goes onto the top rope. Timothy is trying to fight him off, but he gets thrown. Timothy moves away from Bronson's tsunami splash. And then Kyle does whatever the fuck Kyle does, but it results in a leg sub or an ankle lock, I think, on Kyle from Tim Tam Thatchy Thatch. Which is then reversed into a leg sub from Kyle onto Tim Tam Thatchy Thatch. Kyle then punches Timothy. There's some knees sent to Kyle's face from Timmy, a belly-to-back suplex to Kyle from Cameron Grimes. Timothy then gets a big old ankle lock on Cameron and a belly-to-belly suplex from Timothy to Cameron. Kyle is kind of like taking a little nap at this point, which he should have been. Timothy's kind of watching him too, and Kyle avoids a full Nelson because Timothy said, well, I have one shot, and this is pretty much it. And then he and Tim are kind of exchanging blows for a while. Kyle tries to do a step up and Seguri to Tim Tams, and Tim Tams ducks away, and Kyle sends the fucking front of his ankle straight into Cameron Grimes' ear. Then there's a headlock on Kyle from Timothy, and I said, oh, he's gonna tap. He's gonna tap. And an ankle lock on Cameron from Kyle. Kyle reverses by kicking off of Cameron, throwing Timothy to the ground, manages a leg sweep on Timothy, punches him, and then Timothy uppercuts Kyle. And then they're exchanging blows, mostly elbows. Kyle tries to do a backslide to Timmy, and then Kyle rolls Timothy up to fucking defeat him because Kyle's just goddamn. Oh my God. Get picked up
unstoppable.
Again. Oh my God. I was losing my shit at this point because he rolled him up and I was like, this was the match that I wanted to see for a while. I wanted to see Kyle and Timmy. And now I got it. And Kyle fucking destroyed him. And then Grimes drop kicks Kyle in the chest. Kyle grabs the rope though. Although he is dead, I'm pretty sure at this point, Bronson got taken out by who? Who did Bronson get taken out by?
I think it was Kyle.
Kyle fucking took Bronson out. So Kyle took Bronson out. Kyle took Timothy out. And now it's Kyle and Cameron. And fucking Grimes drop kicks him in the chest. He grabs the rope. And I said, oh my God. This never ends, I guess. Cameron's pissed off because he thought he fucking won. Kyle's tired. And I'm like, maybe roll out of the ring and just kind of like lay in the ground for a little bit. Go into the ring. Just take a nap. Cameron then is yelling at Kyle and he's like, you're nothing like Adam. You'd be nothing without him. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, no.
He said he's the man of the group or something.
And I said, I don't want to smell the end of Undisputed Era, please. Because I thought if Kyle lost, then he'd be like, wait, I am nothing like Adam. And then we'd have a Bailey, Sasha, Adam, Kyle thing. And I didn't care for it. Then Cameron does the thing that's like, what, a crossbody power slam or something? I don't know. The Puma tackle. He does the Puma tackle to Kyle. I'm not going to call it by its real name. It's a Puma tackle. And then Kyle sends a fucking knee to Cameron Grimes' sternum and goes for the German suplex. He can't do it, so he fucking wrenches Cameron Grimes' knee, kicks fucking Kyle in the face, and then Kyle gets a goddamn leg sub on Cameron, and holy fucking shit, he fucking wins. So now he's challenging Finn Balor to the fucking title, and then all the boys minus Bobby, the most important boy, come out to congratulate him, and I was like, oh, maybe Adam's not sad about the fact that Kyle's gonna go after the title now. Yay, I feel good. And then Finn came out, and I was like, honestly, Finn, no offense, baby boy, Kyle's my main focus here. Oh my god, oh my god, I'm just so fucking happy. I love Kyle O'Reilly so goddamn much.
I'm so excited for his takeover match. It's gonna be so good.
We don't get to see it very often, but Kyle O'Reilly's such a fucking good wrestler. Like, he has like the same Tim Tam grappling. He's got the same Aleister Black martial arts. It's my favorite wrestlers combined into one man in my favorite stable.
Mm-hmm. Got a little Aleister Black in there too.
Yeah, that's what I said, because he's got the martial arts. Yeah. He's like Tim Tams and Aleister mixed into one. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy right now. I could not be happier. I love Tim Tams. I love Cameron. Kushida cool. Outside of that, here's the pedestal and Kyle's sitting on it. Everyone else is...
My favorite moment was when Kyle was being choked out by Tim Tam, and Kyle said, you know what? And just grabs Bronson into an ankle lock. Or was it Cameron?
No, okay. They talk about this. I might have jumped through it really fast. Basically, I know that Timmy had Kyle in the ankle lock. And then I think that was when he grabbed Cameron.
Okay.
I think
by that point Bronson was eliminated. So it was just the three of them. But yeah, that was great. Cameron escapes, and then like Kyle like does some weird like back roll to break out of the chokehold. It was so good. Kyle was just phenomenal today.
And we never get to see this shit because like there's so many people in Undisputed Era that it's like, oh, tag team Kyle and Bobby or whatever. But like singles Kyle is a goddamn treat.
Yeah.
I'm never getting over this.
You want to move on to the bests of the night?
I think we already know what my picks are, but yes.
Your picks are?
My picks are.
Pixar
I'm a little lamp. See, Mark Cameron would never have understood this.
Yeah. So promo of the night?
Yeehaw, cowpoke. Oh god. That was bad. It's a little better.
So we started off with the Candice and Tegan promo where Tegan's just getting beaten up by Candice. Refs can't stop a single thing. And then we move into the Damian Priest interview, cut short by Austin Theory, I think. And then we got
No, Damian Priest wasn't ever cut short.
I thought it was.
No, because he just flirted with Sarah or McKenzie or whatever blonde person it was tonight.
Right. Okay. Because Austin Theory
not
had
cut
a
short
separate
until the
interview.
second time.
And then we had the algorithm with Fandango and William Regal, which, my God, was that there was depth there. It was so funny. And then Danny Burch is translating into British for William Regal. It was beautiful. It was perfect. And then we had a promo with Ridge Holland, which was nothing. We had a promo of everybody in the Elimination Gauntlet, whatever. We had an interview with Austin Theory. He sucks. And Then we had the night vision vignette foreshadowing somebody's return. Hoping it's Paige, because it's very hard to tell whether it's a man or a woman.
I thought it was a woman!
This was a really good vignette. I actually really like this bit of foreshadowing. We get a date. It's not just like the SmackDown Mystery Woman where I'm not interested at all in who it is unless it's Charlotte.
It's Carmella.
Yeah, it's just like it was all glamour shots of a woman. Whereas this is like
not even good ones.
Yeah, this we get like a motivation, like they want their title back. We see glass being shattered.
That was like the SmackDown stuff is like a cheesy porno versus like
a short film,
a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Like I got a trailer into someone or something coming back.
Yeah.
I don't care who the fuck is coming back. All I know is that I know by October 4th, I will know exactly who that was for.
Yeah.
And that makes I feel whole inside.
But yeah, so that was actually really good. And then we get a promo with Swerve, unfortunately. And then we get an interview with Io Shirai, which foreshadows a very interesting mixed tag team that I actually can't wait to see. But there's no match for the promo of the night in my eyes, because it's going to go to Fandango's number one contender algorithm.
While I buffer and try to open up podcasts on Twitch. Yeah, no, absolutely. I love this. First of all, because I did not fucking... Oh my god, what have I done?
Ew.
I turned my Twitch video into very small. No, I fucked something up. But yes, I really enjoyed this promo. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was super fun too, and honestly, I'm confused by why I never recognize when Fandango is in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's wrong with me to not recognize it, but I never do. I really enjoyed it, especially because like there was the hidden details too of like what he actually wrote on the board.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree.
So now fighter of the night?
Yes.
And there's no contest here, but I'll go through it anyway. We started off with the women's battle royale, not battle royal as the commentators like to call it. It is royale, like a royale with cheese. So we had that, and my pick here is Shotzi. Candice looked great. For me, it was between Candice and Shotzi here, but Shotzi really just nailed it. She's always been so amazing lately, and I think Candice winning this helps solidify to me that Shotzi is going to win the NXT Women's Championship. Not just have a match for it, she's going to win it. Because not only do we have this, but they also said next week we're also getting her versus Dakota Kai. And it seems like they're running the ringer with her and like every big women's wrestler in NXT.
Right.
And I love this. I cannot wait. Either that or she's going to be moved to the main roster. But I hope she gets a title first. And then we have Tommaso versus Jake Atlas. And Jake Atlas looked fantastic here. He looked awesome. And the fact that not only did he look great, but he looked like he was out for blood. He looked like he wanted to slit Tommaso's throat with the bottom of the ring. Like he wanted to do exactly what Tommaso did to him the week prior. Tommaso would have been my pick for here, but he was mostly running scared today. Had he been in full force, I think he would have been my pick. But no, Jake Atlas looked amazing. And then we had Roddy and Danny Burch versus Mendoza and Fabian Eichner. And I'm not going to pick Roddy for this fight. I'm going to pick Danny Burch. Because Roddy had a lot of really good moments. But I think Danny Burch really just took the reins here. He looked fantastic. He looked like a star in this match. And it makes me really want him to just... It makes me want him and Oni to just abandon 205 Live and just give him more of a spotlight in NXT. They are too good for 205 Live. They need to stick around with NXT.
Or at least just be relegated to 205 Live. Like, I feel like we get Santos just plenty enough, even though he's also on 205. It's like, why can't we also... Because Oni's so fun. And he and Danny, it's like chaotic and focused.
Yeah.
I love that pairing in a team. Because that's what we got with like Alexa and Nikki. And I love it. And I want Oni Boni Bananagrams back.
And then with Danny,
we'll get him back next week, I guess.
Him translating British to William Regal.
William Regal told Fandango, he's like, we agreed, no British accents. You're not doing an accent here. And I was like,
oh god.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, Danny Burch knocked it out of the park today. He had a lot of fantastic moves. He looked amazing. This was just a really great night for superstars in general. Yeah, I mean, not to say Roddy looked bad. He did look fantastic, but Danny just pulled out all the stops. After that, we had Austin Theory versus Damian Priest, and Damian came out like nothing we've ever seen of him before. He looked this looks like a completely different Damian Priest from when he fought Finn Balor at TakeOver in Your House. He looked incredible. I can't wait to see him versus Johnny at TakeOver. Like, that will be an incredible match. But because I think he was fighting somebody like Austin Theory, who's not really the best opponent for him, we didn't get to see as much. Like, we didn't get to see the perfect Damian. I think we will get that with Johnny, because it seems like whoever Johnny fights, he works with them to bring out their best. We got that with Roddy. We got that with Swerve. We got that with Ridge. I think in the latter match, we also got that with a couple people like Cameron. And I'm just so excited for it. And then we had Ridge Holland versus Antonio De Luca. Ridge versus a punching bag. It's Ridge for this fight. There's no contest. And then we had the Gauntlet Eliminator. And goddamn, if I would be massively wrong, even though there's no wrong answers here, but there is one here, if I didn't pick Kyle O'Reilly. The man not only lasted so long, which normally I wouldn't give someone Fighter of the Night because of that, because it's like part of the script, like it's what they're supposed to do. But while looking super tired and just like looking like he's out, he's just getting second wind after second wind after second wind after second wind, looking phenomenal. And then when he also just sold things really well. He sold being choked out, almost passing out, really real. And then when he sold being flung into the corner, I thought he was dead. Like, he's just...
We all did!
He is such an incredible wrestler. And we really got to see that today. And I am now super excited for TakeOver, where he's going to fight Finn. If it's a main event, Kyle's going to win. because Finn does not win main event matches.
I mean, you got a point. It was like but when he was fucking thrown to the buckle, I straight up was like, have we just seen him in like, is there an incision in Kyle's back now or something? Like, should I be concerned? Because I feel a little concerned.
But yeah, no, it's for my my full fight of the night. It's no contest, even though everyone did amazingly today. This was a real superstars night. There's no contest but Kyle O'Reilly. He just went balls to the walls. This was his match. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to prove, and he looked like an all-star.
So it was funny because Sean Ross Sapp made a comment, and I've never really. There have been times where like I kind of was like, oh, NXT shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z, or they should have done X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. But Sean Ross Sapp made a point to say that it's cool to watch the person earning a berth to challenge a champion for their title. And, you know, I think, to be totally fair, NXT does it better than SmackDown and Raw. As, like, someone will just walk into the ring in SmackDown or Raw and be like, well, I'm owed this title. And you're like, you've been injured since 2019, honey. Sit down.
Like Zelina.
Just do like a little more physical therapy and maybe we'll see. And I guess they do it a little bit in NXT, but at the same time with NXT, I'm like, I kind of get it because like there's no history there.
Right.
For the most part, for a lot of these people, there's no history really. These guys are fresh still.
Yeah, like the people challenging for titles, they're people who have been working for it. Like Tim Tam challenging Damien a couple weeks ago. He'd been working for the NXT title and then the North American title for a while. And so that challenge made sense. And then having all these battle royales, it's not just for no reason. Like it's done because it's to show that whoever's going to challenge for the title is actually like worthy of it. Like it's not just random.
Right. And I think the other thing to kind of make a point is like, even with Undisputed Era, I think Roddy came down first, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was Bobby and Kyle and then Adam. And again, if I'm not mistaken.
Undisputed Era?
Right. I think Chris came down, I think Roddy came down first not came down, but moved over to NXT from Ring of Honor, I think.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like joining Undisputed Era.
Well, no, because it was kind of all at once, more or less, that happened. But I think Chris, I keep doing this. Like,
Kyle.
This is why I should never look up wrestlers, because then I learn their actual name, and I'm like, huh. My brain just shuts off. Roddy came over first to NXT, and I think Bobby and Kyle came over before Adam, or vice versa. But even then, that was in 2017, in mid-2017. They haven't been there that long, you know? Mm-hmm. It's still been very short-lived. I think since Roddy did come over first, I know that he came over, I think, in like 2016, I think. So he's been there the longest, but still. It's just... It was so cool to watch this, and I know I make fun of William Regal like constantly for like all these like, oh, we're gonna do an Eliminator match, or like we're gonna do a Royal or whatever. Who cares? I'm like, oh my god, William. But I really like this match. I thought it was really good. I'm glad that we didn't see like kind of what we see in Royal Rumble, this was obviously modeled after. We didn't see like somebody just like standing in the ring like, well, who's next? I don't know. You know. I thought this was great, and I thought that the fact that like Kyle stayed in it past when I thought he was going to was awesome. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this match, and I really enjoyed watching him. Especially because like his last match was with Drake Maverick, and that lasted I think like 3 minutes tops.
Mm-hmm.
And this was Kyle O'Reilly. Nobody pulling strings for him, nobody like interfering on the sidelines. Just Kyle doing Kyle shit, getting to see his style of fighting. I am so excited for TakeOver, and I thought the moment that Finn won this fucking belt, I was like, no one's ever gonna make me think that he shouldn't have it. But now that Kyle's involved, I'm like, I'm so sorry, Mr. Phineas, but Captain, it's been nice knowing you.
So fight of the night.
Yeet.
Even though I know there's no contest here, we're still gonna go one by one. We start with the women's battle royale, the 50 women battle royale. Would have been a whole lot better if they had just kept it at the 12 women that they initially announced, without bringing in all the trainees and everything.
What was the point of announcing the lineup if they were just gonna triple it?
I understand why they kind of brought in everyone, so it's to show everyone gets a chance. Like, it's like... What?
But, like, at the same time, when they announced this, I made a joke to you. I made a joke like, oh, well, if you win a prize if you can remember everybody that was in this fucking lineup. Because it was already a massive fucking group of people. And then to double it or whatever the fuck they did, it was like, you could have just had a good goddamn royal match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a mess, but when it came down to the last few, it turned into a really good match, especially when it was down to Candice and Shotzi. Makes me excited for TakeOver, which I realized TakeOver is going to be like its own little Clash of Champions. Because we've got the NXT Women's title up for grabs. We're going to have the NXT title between Finn and Kyle. Presumably, we've got the tag team title between Breezango and whoever wins. Maybe we'll have the Cruiserweight Championship between Swerve and Santos.
That's possible.
And then the North American Championship with Damian and Johnny. So, like,
and there better be a Tommaso Jake Atlas fight peppered in there somewhere. I'm sorry.
We're also probably going to get...
by idly here.
I saw people saying we might also get Velveteen and Kushida happening. But yeah, so that's that fight, and then we get to Tommaso versus Jake Atlas, Speak of the Devil, and Tommaso shall appear. A really, really good fight. Like, I was not expecting this to be this good. I expected like a squash again. But no, Jake Atlas came out swinging, and you know what? He hit a few home runs.
I think contrasting to what you were expecting, I was expecting Jake Atlas to come out and make Tommaso look like enhancement talent, basically. And I think for us to come from like these two polar opposites and still somehow meet in the middle, like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're still both wrestlers. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I really like that. I appreciated that a lot. I think that's something that, again, Raw and SmackDown cannot get right that NXT does, which is like, okay, we had one like Tommaso like blowout fight, but like this was a real ass fight. Like there wasn't just like 5 seconds of like Tommaso squirming and then Tommaso taking over.
Also,
it was very even.
Speaking of like the night in general, can we just mention the fact that they had like a COVID outbreak, had the trainees all not there, and they still managed to pull off a great night?
You know why?
Why?
Because Vince McMahon isn't pulling the strings backstage. We got a less than, inept human being in charge of this goddamn show. Triple H and Shawn Michaels having control of NXT is the saving grace of NXT, I think, at this point.
I would also put some praise to William Regal, who I trust way more than Triple H.
Well, I think the thing is that at the end of the day, Vince pulls the strings at Raw and SmackDown. So when shit goes wrong and Vince is sitting in, wherever the fuck he is half the time, he has the ability to be like, shut this the fuck down right now. I don't want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone has to be like, well, he does own the company, so I guess he's got a point. I think with NXT, it's like William, Trips, and Shawn Michael. And that's it. And they're like, okay, wrestle. If one of you guys gets hurt, we'll come out. Unless that happens, keep fucking wrestling. Which, it's amazing to me. If AEW was scheduled on Monday or Friday, there'd be considerably different conversations happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's half the reason why I hate this whole viewer rating war that's happening, because it's like, dude, NXT is the best shit that's happened to WWE in a hot minute.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. I don't give a shit how it compares, because they're doing things so much better than the main roster shit's doing.
Yeah.
I could go on for hours. Continue, please.
And then after that, we had Roddy and Danny Burch versus Mendoza and Eichner. Really good tag team match. The chemistry between Danny Burch and Roddy was just there. Unexpectedly there. Mendoza and Eichner were also great. I wish we'd seen a little more, personality with them. But I really liked Roddy and Danny here. I already mentioned my praise for Danny. But Roddy was also fantastic. He's shouting from the sidelines was great. And I loved everything with the Undisputed Era guys, because a lot of it was just them showing off their talents, and it's kind of been like this lately. Them showing off their talents, not requiring other members coming to ringside and helping them out. This match was good.
I was just gonna say that I love that Roddy, during the whole fight, he was cheering Danny on.
Yeah.
And the moment that they fucking won, and Danny was like, handshake, and Roddy was like, no, you're my opponent now, and I have an allegiance over here. So actually, no.
You're doing it wrong. There you go.
There we go. There we go.
Lower that other thumb. There you go. Perfect.
But the fact that he was like, I'm not shaking your hand, just peace out, bye.
That was it.
I have my pals backstage, actually. Exactly. I like that a lot. I like that it showed his character, that he was like, I'm in it for the fucking fight, and once it's over, just so you know, I have other things going on. I don't need you. Farewell. I respect it.
And then after that, we had Austin Theory versus Damian Priest. Again, a really good match. A really good match. I think Damian just needs a better opponent to really shine, and that's what we're going to get at TakeOver. But I hope we keep this Damian and not the showboaty Archer Damian that we normally get. The one that's really improved on himself and adapted to Thatcher's criticisms of him. Damian looked fantastic. Theory looked good. Better than normal, but that's not saying a whole lot.
He turns purple so fucking quickly.
But yeah, it was a good match. I really like this. Not the worst match of the day. Certainly not the best. But overall, comparing to other NXT matches, really good. And then we had Ridge Holland versus Antonio DeLuca. Kind of the lowlights of today. But it was just an enhancement talent match. So, I mean, what do you expect? I think this was kind of Ridge's official kind of debut in NXT. Even though he's already debuted, this is solidified. He's in NXT now. And then last, and most certainly not least, we had the 5-man Gauntlet Eliminator between Kyle O'Reilly, Kushida, Cameron Grimes, Timothy Thatcher, and Bronson Reed. And this match lasted a while. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. This match lasted, this was a long match. This was like a half-hour long match. But it did not feel like a half hour. It was perfectly paced. It was handled much better than a Royal Rumble. At no point did it feel chaotic. Despite it being 5 people in the ring. Maybe, I think, max 4. Everyone still shined in their own way. And you had Kyle looking like a beast. Cameron also looking like a beast. And showing off his personality. You had Thatcher looking great. You had Kushida looking great too. And then Bronson looking better than normal. Everyone was looking fantastic in this match. And the match itself was just done so well that half hour just flew by so fast. Yeah, no, it's no contest. The fight of the night is, can I get a drum roll? The fight of the night tonight for NXT is Slapjack versus the Backstage Wrestlers.
No! Slapjack! This is the worst retribution!
No, it's the Gauntlet Eliminator. Is no contest.
Oh my god, thank you. So in a funny way, because actually it wasn't just 30 minutes, it was about 40. And in a weird way, like, you know how, like, if you're taking like a road trip and it's to somewhere you've never been before and it's about like an hour or so long and you're like, oh shit, it's an hour of driving, which I would literally never say, but for your sake, I guess, like, oh, it's an hour of driving, that blows. But because it's to somewhere you've never been and on roads you've never been on, it's like, oh, this actually goes really quickly because, like, my brain's working.
Mm-hmm.
This was a goddamn dream of a fucking match. This was so awesome. It was so well paired to start with Kyle and Kushida, who have similar styles of fighting, to bring out Bronson Reed, who, like, looked really good, but at the same time looked like he could easily, it felt more even, which I understand it's not because he's a big guy, but it's not so fun to go into a match where it's like, I like and recognize this person and they're going against Bronson Reed, who's just kind of a tank.
Yeah.
In the same way that, like, Keith Lee versus Drew is fun because, like, Drew fights him and doesn't just, like, Dolph Ziggler him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy that. And it felt like Bronson was a formidable opponent, of course, but, like, was not undefeatable. And then to bring out Timothy when you know that Kyle's good at grappling, and I was already thinking, I was like, that'd be a really awesome fight, actually. To bring out Timothy, to have Bronson lose, which I didn't think was even going to happen. I thought Bronson was going to win. I was like, oh, he's big. And, like, Bronson looked like a worthwhile opponent. Kushida looked really good. Kyle O'Reilly, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start with him because I'll save that for the end. Tim Tams looked like Timothy. Cameron Grimes, we saw fucking emotion. We saw want in his eyes.
Yeah.
And going back to Kyle, oh my God. How he looks so good. He looks so good right now. And not only does he look good, and also what I kind of liked was that like I didn't get like a bunch of like articles that are like, this NXT wrestler is getting a massive push. It's like, it makes me feel more like, oh, he won because he's a good fucking wrestler, and Triple H isn't sitting there like, hey guys, so I have this press release now. I really liked it. I really liked that also at the end of the day, like we got Adam and Roddy coming out to congratulate him. When like my fear was like, well, Kyle's gonna go for the title and Adam's gonna hate him because of it, blah blah blah. I was like, they're just happy for their friend. There was so much that happened in this match. I would have paid for like another extra like 40 minutes of it.
But you know what? Roddy's wife didn't come out and congratulate him, and she was there.
Marina Shafir deserves more respect from NXT.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
And from Roddy.
Hey, all right, that's not nice to say.
Not everyone can be Candace and Johnny.
I think I think it does not work for many people to have like, oh, we're husband and wife in real life and on this TV show. I feel like that does not work well, and I'm glad that they've kept that separate because like, I see Marina Shafir and I'm like, she's fucking cool, and I see Roddy and I'm like, he's nothing like her, but he's also fucking cool. And I don't have to be like, oh, they're together. That's part of the story constantly, all the time, never ending. Roddy's wife is wrestling in NXT. And that's where we leave it.
It's like Zelina and Alistair.
Exactly. When you watch Raw, you're like, no, they're not fucking married. Why would they be fucking married? That doesn't make any sense. And then you see them in real life and you're like, oh.
They're both nerds.
All right, that makes total sense. But this match, it felt like coming in from like running outside on like a summer day and just like drinking some ice cold fucking water. I was like, holy shit. Wrestling?
What's that?
Good? Haven't seen this shit in like 10 years. Mostly because I just sat through 3 hours of Raw. But god damn it, that was a good fucking match. I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't agree with that. Even though Slapjack versus everybody in Raw was very close.
No, not just everybody in Raw. Everybody backstage when they made fun of him.
Oh, poor Slapjack.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Flapjack and Lowjack to come in.
And IHOP and Jackhammer.
Yeah, you sit back.
So, to run it back, we've got our promo of the night, which is Fandango's #1 contender algorithm, featuring William Regal. We had our fighter of the night, Kyle O'Reilly. And we had our fight of the night, the 5-man Gauntlet Eliminator with Kyle O'Reilly, Kushida, Cameron Grimes, Bronson Reed, and Timothy Thatcher.
Tim Tam Thatcher, arms and muscles ready for the matchy match?
Honestly, we couldn't get a better group of contenders for a title. Because nobody here is problematic. Everyone...
I mean, Kushida is the opposite problematic at this point.
Everyone's...
My dude fought both Austin and fucking Dream.
Everyone's also got their own styles. Everyone has their own personalities. They all mesh well. And every fight between them all has been fantastic. Oh, the tail.
Yeah, Pete, look at her. Wait.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oh,
no,
does
lemur.
Not want anything to do with this.
Oh.
Sorry. They're readjusted.
All right. So, do you want to wrap us out?
It's like Christmas. I'm wrapping some goddamn presents. Hi. So, thank you for joining us for our NXT episode. We will be back on Freitag for SmackDown.
And we'll also be making our Clash of Champions predictions.
Yes. While it is also Friday SmackDown, it is prediction night on Friday. And because of that, please remember we will be doing our promo show on Wednesday on the last episode of the month as opposed to the last Friday of the month. just because I don't want to make anyone like shove their fucking laptop into the ground because we've been talking for 4 hours, which I'm pretty sure we've been doing already tonight. So please tune in on Friday so that you can watch us make predictions that we will almost inevitably be drinking for. But thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning in any night ever. And thank you. Thank you. I love wrapping the show out. I'm so goddamn good at it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm sorry. If you enjoyed, please hit that follow button and the little bell so you'll be notified whenever we go live. And follow us on Twitter at the Pinfall Cast. Remove the pod, and that's a Twitter. You'll also be notified there whenever we go live, as well as see our picks for Fighter and Fight of the Night in case you miss an episode and still want to find out who it was. And then if you missed part of this podcast and want to check out previous podcasts, check out our YouTube, the Pinfall Podcast. Monday's episode will also be posted tomorrow, along with this one, and you can see all of our past episodes there, minus the Backlash episode, but we don't like to talk about that one. And follow our personal Twitters as well. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23, and he was on the show earlier. I wish he could be here to promo, but he stormed out.
I think I hear him crying in the hallway. Actually, I want to check on him after this.
No. Follow the personal Twitch for the guy who was on earlier, Mark Cameron, twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. He does, along with some other people, a mix of wrestling with Pokemon to make the Universal Pokemon Federation. Super cool stuff. Definitely follow there. They just crowned their UPF World Champion. And
after a massive upset loss, I hear.
Yeah, it was an upset for a lot of people.
I heard a lot of people were really upset by this because it was out of goddamn nowhere. I mean, the way that this girl played, my God, she looked amazing. She put the other guy to shame. She put Mr. Cameron absolutely to shame. She buried him in the fucking ground. Woo!
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, can you agree?
Tune in Friday for SmackDown. Thanks.